What is up, Mako Madness fans? This is Dan reporting in from the Universal Orlando Resort yet again, and we're going to do a two-part check-in today to see all the new rides. So let's go! Before we start our updates, I did want to point out something that was just announced even today. If you saw on the Universal page, we are going to have plastic passes for our pass holders. Thankfully, they are finally coming, and the official date to get them is going to start on June 3rd. So if you want your plastic pass, come get them. Now, this may have been around, but this is new for us. Right in front of the Hello Kitty store, they actually have a live band, and it looks like a temporary setup where they just wheel everything out. But indeed, we have some awesome music being played. Yep, still the same. Nothing's changed. So a lot of the work that I can see so far has been done right over here where the rumored restrooms are going to be, but as we can see, there's a bunch of guys up there working on some of the cinder blocks. Looks like they're actually going to be pouring cement very soon. And then panning around, of course, we have some guys right here in a lift working on some of the steel work. But not a whole lot has changed over on this side. Let's walk around if we can notice anything else. Front entry area looks just about the same. They may have added a couple things here and there, but not a whole lot has really changed on this side at least. So let's walk around the back and see if we notice anything else. On the back side now we can get a much better view at all the new steelwork. As we can see, they've added quite a bit just even since the last couple updates that we've had. Inside, they have some of that reinforcing bit right there. And I'm expecting some sort of covering again pretty soon, but not right now. And it almost looks like right here they have some fire insulation that they've sprayed on. So right there, that's actually what they do to protect the steel, just in case of fires and whatnot. Another view of the insulation right here. Much closer view, as we can see. Again, it's for protection. And then over here we have a bunch of that new steel. And they've really expanded this building, guys. I mean, it is much bigger than what it originally was. It's looking good though. One last look at the guys that are up on top of the roof, right here, working on some of the paneling, it looks like right there. And then all the steel work that we've already covered. Looks good from afar, actually. But you can definitely tell the building is getting much larger. Well, as you know, we've been on plant watch and ladder watch over here at Fast and Furious, and I hate to say it, no new additions. Everything looks just about the same except for, oh my god, it's a crane. So the crane is in the air. Awesome looking stuff though. We're gonna walk over and get a better view of it now. All right, so we're getting a much better view of the crane that is right here. And it's a big crane, but it is not like one of those 200-foot tall ones. But again, they were lifting something. We can kind of get a view right there. But again, finally, the crane is in the air. They are doing some work. Looking nice. Well, whatever it was they lifted into place, they have now dropped off as the crane right there is moving into position for another piece. Again, we'll try to see if we can actually get a glimpse of what they're lifting. Again, whatever they're lifting is now in the air. Cross your fingers, we're gonna get a view. But it looks like they're staying low just below the fence line. In fact, there it is. Some steel work of some sort. It actually looks like those are rebar. Possibly, so I'm thinking more or less for footers. So here we are in front of the Twosome Chocolate Emporium. It's going to take me a little while to get used to saying that, but they have added some new additions. As we can see, the paneling right here on the outside of the front of the building looks really good. But that is a good sign that they are starting to enclose it. A little bit closer view of the paneling and the very top of the building. Again, looking very nice. One more look at the other side. As we can see right here, there's a guy up in a lift, but they are installing more of those panels. Just got a couple more pieces right here to install, and then this side is going to be done. We're going to walk around to one more location, take our last look at the Emporium before we head over to Islands. Last look at the building. Again, all sorts of stuff going on with it, but I'm really excited for this. I really want one of those milkshakes. Can't wait, guys. But you know what I also can't wait for? Cog and Hulk. So let's go look. Time to check out Cog, and no! The walls are still up. No! What a disaster. But anyway, chance of rain, I would say, is much higher this week, though, especially with Universal doing their announcement just this morning, showing off some images of Cog himself. Looks awesome, but we do have the doors closed right there. So at least the doors are working again. But yeah, work walls up. Alright, so you're not going to believe me because they're not on, but the fire effects were just on a couple minutes ago. Literally, as soon as I grabbed the camcorder, they shut off. So unfortunately, I don't have video of that. However, I do have some photos of it, and they're on our Facebook page. So believe it or not, we actually had the pyro on. Another week and another appearance of sensors, except these ones look like they're brand new. The other ones that we had were a little bit shorter, but these guys are a little bit longer, so I'm wondering if they have a longer range for the RVs. But again, new sensors showing up pretty much every week. Well, like we've said in other updates, guys, we're going to continue to watch this and make sure that as soon as we get word that it's actually open or doing soft tests, we'll have that information for you. But unfortunately today, not going to happen for Cog. Alrighty, guys, so what's the deal here? The Jurassic vehicle keeps showing up and disappearing. And of course, on our visit today, it is not here. Hello, Hulk. And hello, Giant Blue Net. In our last update, this was all curled up, but it's now fully extended over the entire pathway. But I don't mind the blue. Some people have been like, why are you putting blue on this? But I don't mind it. As long as it's going to keep everybody safe, I'm happy. A couple other things to note. We do have the conduit lines that are over here on the Cobra Roll. Still there. Nothing's really changed or anything else like that. They haven't installed lights just yet. And then another thing that you guys are going to be happy about, up on the launch tunnel, we have an anemometer. And usually you need that when you're going to be doing testing. So we do have that up there so that you can check wind speed. But that's just been added. It's a good thing, guys. And one other view of those giant blue nets directly underneath the 0G roll, keeping all the guests safe, making sure that nothing is going to hit them on the way down. But again, they are fully extended now. So up on the Cobra Roll, we have a guy right here in a lift, and it looks like they're actually installing brackets. Now, those are brackets not for netting. That's going to be for lights. As we can see, they are actually pretty thick, but they're attaching them to that support right there. And actually, if you look over to the other side, over here, we have the exact same brackets. But if you notice, the conduit line is directly below it. So again, looks like it's going to be for lighting. But they're very close to getting those up. Here's a much better shot of pretty much all the things we've been talking about in the last couple updates. We have the conduit line down at the bottom. We have the brackets for the netting, and well, yeah, we have the netting, and then the new bracket that has been installed right there. Again, looks to be for some lighting elements. Conduit line is running up to it, so that's what I'm going to call it. Looks like lighting. One other thing to note, all of the conduit line is now up on the 0G roll. We have an electrical box up there as well, but see how it runs down right over here. And guess what? It actually connects to a proximity switch, which is right there, just like before. Another view of the anemometer that's just been installed. Blowing in the breeze. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the station area just real quick. And first thing I want to point out is we have railing. Woohoo! So up at the very top, railing has been installed. And also right here on the side of that, we have some darker paint. So the station has actually gotten a little bit darker paint-wise, and you can really smell it. Obviously you don't have smell-o-vision, but paint is in the air. And over in the entry area, again, we have those coverings. They're in place, but don't have any paint on them or anything else like that. But again, they're there. They haven't moved, I promise. Now we're over near the entry area for Hulk, and we can see right here, just before it gets to the corkscrew, they do have some more brackets that have been mounted onto the track. I don't think those are going to be for proximity switches, but maybe for more conduit lines, something like that. But again, we have even more brackets that have been welded on. A general layout look for the big green machine. Again, not a whole lot has changed other than them adding the conduit lines and proximity switches and brackets, all that sort of stuff. But we still have the paint buckets, or buckets, that are over here on the ground. But everything else, yep, it's just about the same. So something that was pointed out to me by an associate, these railings that are right here in the center of the Hulk area look like they're actually permanent. I really hope not, but as we saw just a second ago, they are not only bolted to the ground, those bolts go way down into the ground, so we'll see. On a positive note, if you remember in the other updates, we had the supports that had welding marks on there and they were kind of scuffed up. Well, they have been repainted, so supports looking good again. Well guys, that is going to do it for another Universal Orlando construction update. As we saw with Hulk, they have some new brackets for lights, and the blue net is fully extended now, of course. There is some new steelwork that is going on, and conduit lines are still the main story. Kong, of course, we saw the images that were released this morning showing off the big animatronic, and it's going to be awesome, guys. Can't wait. I know soft openings, we've been saying it for a while, but I still believe are going to be very soon. And of course, Jimmy Fallon has some new steelwork, but main focus is some cinder blocks and whatnot. Fast and Furious had the crane in the air. Looks awesome. Glad to see some progress. And then one of the bigger news I'm actually personally happy about, the plastic passes are coming. So very soon we're going to have that, and we're going to have more updates here at Universal Orlando Resort, guys. So if you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and our YouTube page at Make 'em Madness, and I'll see you out on the Midway.